Hello and welcome. Jumpy coming at you once again with some more Myst. In this video we're going to see what Cirrus and Akinar have to say from the Channelwood Age, and then we'll see if we can find our way to the next age. So to start off, Cirrus.
With each page I can see more clearly. Soon I'll be free from this horrid prison.
Soon I'll be free from this horrid prison.
You must visit the one remaining age. You have not.
One remaining age.
Confident that
I'm confident something?
that my brother Akinar is demented. He is guilty. He took advantage of the freedom our father had given us. Akinar began to
Akinar is demented.
He will destroy both myself and you, just as he destroyed the other ages of Myst.
The other ages?
Never
Wait.
will escape.
So all those burnt books.
You must simply bring the red. The story that I hear. Your wisdom. You will see that I am innocent and he is guilty.
Oh well, twisty face.
This forgotten island long ago.
20 years ago.
I will owe you my life, and you will be greatly rewarded.
So it sounds like Cirrus is accusing Akinar of burning all of those other books in the library. And their ages that they correspond to. So, like we've always been doing, I will go quickly collect Akinar's page and we'll be right back. And we're back. Here we go with Akinar's page. In that sped up audio, I didn't change the sound levels like I did in the previous video, so you can probably more clearly hear what I was talking about when I say the sound levels are all over the place. So here we go with Akinar.
My friend. Bring in the blue pages. I see.
I mean, he does seem demented.
Convinced Cirrus is guilty. Pray, do not release him. He will destroy me, just as he did. Innocent bystander. I've been wrongfully tricked into imprisonment. instant, you have observed his unbridled lust for riches!
Lust for riches!
In the 4 remaining worlds, gruesome plot, it was almost perfect! Final blow to Father. You tricked him into believing that it was I.
Final blow for Father.
I didn't murder Father. Bring me the remaining. Just please. A liar. All in a liar. Must not be free. What would... Remaining blue pages from the last age of Myst. I must be free. You must free me. I cannot bear it here for eternity. Free me.
Please bring me the blue pages. Please bring me the blue pages. Yeah, more of the same. So, Cirrus says Akinar killed their father and then trapped him in the book. And Akinar says Cirrus killed the father and trapped him in the book. But how are they both trapped in books? Anyway, let's head to the painting and let's see what the last age is. Here we go. We've got the spaceship. You hear the tower rotating for a long time because it takes a long time. And with the spaceship age, we have, I believe it is, yeah, it just says the spaceship age of Myst. It has been a while since I have heard only silence, and I enjoy it greatly, I think. For some reason I do not feel altogether welcome in this new world in which I have arrived. But how could I be unwelcome in an age with no inhabitants? It is, of course, only in my head. This world is very beautiful, but I think I have yet to ever write in a journal that an age I have linked to is horrid or disgusting. From the grassy hill where I am standing, I can see green fields below, along with a few scattered forests. A rather large lake looms some distance from where I am standing, yet the water's blue can be seen plainly from here. The air is fresh, and the sky is sparkled with white clouds. Sparkled? I think it means speckled. It is absolutely breathtaking, and yet that strange feeling again. Perhaps it is the hot breeze that continues to blow from the north. Hotter than I would have imagined. It almost singes my skin, and I feel quite uncomfortable when it comes. I will try to ignore it. Night has almost arrived, and the sunset is spectacular. Oranges and reds have settled above the western horizon. Though night has come... So, in this book, he's talked about hearing only silence, and he's talking about the south, the north, now the west. Though night has come, the horizon still glows red long past the sunset. Dark reds flow from the horizon and blend into the black sky. Again the feeling, and I am beginning to believe it is not all in my mind. I must sleep now. I will need my strength to explore more tomorrow. I have had to return home due to an unpredictable natural occurrence more frightening than I have ever imagined. I was awakened by terrible shakings in the ground and explosions on all sides of me. Gigantic balls of fire were falling from the sky, and I immediately left in fear of my life. I must remember to bring a Myst linking book with me when I return, in case the one left there has been destroyed or damaged. I have returned to a different world than the one I left only 3 months ago. It has been transformed into a barren desert land with only gigantic craters scattered across the land to provide variety. Strangely enough, the small grassy hill where I spent my first night remains exactly the way I found it. Apparently the falling meteors did not hit that area, leaving an oasis in the midst of this terrible, horrible desolation. The hot wind, I remember, has turned into a rather pleasant breeze, which is at least one improvement. I fear it is the only improvement. The magnificent lake I saw on my first visit is now completely dried up. However, another lake now exists and appears to be quite a bit larger. I assume one of the falling meteors created this lake due to its circular shape and the jutting rock that grows out of the center of the lake. The rest of this world seems like desert, although I will verify that statement with closer inspection. I'm just picturing him, like, with a magnifying glass down at the sand. Sand. Though this world has little visual excitement to offer, it offers much to the ears. Sounds constantly flow through my ears, and I have found where a few of them originate. It seems, as Catherine says, I do find beauty in everything. So this book is hinting about sounds and about cardinal directions, and if you remember from the mechanical age, there was a device there which used the sounds to define the cardinal directions as well, so that will definitely come in handy in this next age. Last night I was awakened by a horrible hissing. I was sweating and the heat was so intense that I immediately dipped my head in a nearby stream to cool it down. The hot breezes had returned, along with a low roar from the ground. I walked a short distance to observe some red flames shooting up from the earth. Suddenly the ground began to crack and a huge chasm opened. The chasm continued to grow until it was far too wide to cross. Then the tumult subsided, leaving only a dull roar. I have decided, however, I can use the chasm to my advantage. Perhaps the heat from the chasm can be harnessed. Collect heat. Even as the chasm has ripped into the surface of this world, it has opened up a whole new world to explore. Although uncomfortably hot, I found it possible to reach a cave in the chasm that had been created, and have now explored deep into the crust of this planet. I don't like the full stop and then and. I have found a vast underground cave system that will take many years to map and explore. I will also look for a safer way to reach the underground than through the chasm wall. This age seems to change on its own, so I feel I should leave again and see if things are different when I return. It is also important that I check on Cirrus and Achenar and make sure everything is going along well. When I return, I also hope to bring back some tools I will need for my plans to explore the underground. The abundance of raw materials here is beginning to amaze me. I have returned with some of the complex tools I knew I would be needing. I assumed I would have to return for more more basic materials, however. It seems as though I'll be able to find everything I need here. Of course, iron is abundant, but I have also found titanium occurring naturally. I am all the more excited to begin work. Everything is set and I look forward to tomorrow. My raw materials are all here. I think I'll be able to have most of my additions to this age completed within 1 year. I so love working with my hands, whether writing or building. I began today on the bridge and all that, and so then it fades off. Something. The magnetic idea will work well, and I have decided to, and here again it's hinting at north with rotations and sound. 3 meters is not enough support for the beams, although it's somewhat amazingly strong. Here's a diagram of the spaceship. Has to be one of my most prized inventions. I am could have never imagined it to come together quite as. I doubt could possibly work with 14 instead of 8. Completely fatigued. I am so happy to have completed tomorrow. Maybe the ink has gone away in the heat. It's been heat bleached or something. I am leaving today in order to bring back Cirrus and Achenar. I have left them alone in Channelwood. I believe they will enjoy all there is to see here. The age seems to have stabilized. I believe the meteors set off a period of volcanic activity by piercing into the shallow crust, but the tremors have become few. I have just noticed that a large amount of this journal has curiously vanished from the very pages on which I wrote over the last 18 months. Fortunately, I have copied many of my construction notes in another journal. One of those burn journals. I do not understand the many mysteries of this world, but I trust I will discover logical answers to my questions. I have a feeling that many of my questions can be answered in another age, to which I hope to travel soon. But for now, I must simply accept this world's mysteries and take pride in my accomplishments. And there we have a piano keyboard with numbers. So we need to remember these notes, and I believe the numbers correspond to the order in which we need to play them, but we'll come back to that later. And here it looks like we have a map of the world with the huge lake with the crater, with the rock sticking out of the middle. It looks like this could be the hill that he mentioned that was unchanged, or possibly over here with some trees and some scattered rocks off and about here. And that's it for this book. So let's head up to the tower and see what hints it can give us about how to enter this age. Moving on up. Moving on up. First, we'll double check. Yep. Yep, looking down at the spaceship. I love the janky ladder climbing animations that they put in. Here we go. 59 volts. So we need to get something to 59 volts, something that might power something. And if you remember, you might remember when we first explored the island of Myst that there was a power line running from a substation to the ship itself. And so I believe that the substation might hold some of our secrets. If you also remember, there were some circuit breakers up the top of the power line, both here and on the other one over directly ahead of us, which will come in handy, and if you don't know they're there, they can really mess with you. So clicking on this, door's not opening, so let's see if we get some power. Alright, so we'll head on down here. And if you remember, there was these two numbers, the one on the left, the one on the right. It says the one on the left is the power, and the one on the right is power to the ship. So we hit 1 and it makes the numbers go up a bit. And you hit it again and it goes down. All of these numbers are different amounts. And if we go over 59, the power drops back down to 0. So we're going to experiment. I'm going to get 59 on the left here. What's that? That's an 8. Have we got a 7 somewhere? That's a 2. There's a 7. So we can hit 7 instead of 8. And that puts us at 59. So now that the power is overloaded, we need to head to the circuit breakers and flip them again. And if you don't know that these circuit breakers are here, they're a little hard to find. You can be wondering about this for ages. Wondering about the puzzle if you go over 59. It was one of the big sticking points the first time I ever played this game. So I head on up, click the power breaker, you hear a loud bang, and now we should be able to head back down and try again. Now I think I've remembered the numbers. 59, 59, and so we needed 59 volts to the ship, so now the power should be running. And we should be able to get in. I bet you can't guess what we're going to find in here. A piano! So, we can play... So we can play all the different notes. And then over on this side we have some sliders with corresponding notes. There's 5 sliders and there were 5 notes marked in the pages of this book. So let's go find out what these 5 notes are, and then we can play them on the piano and we can learn what the right combination is. So we've got below the 2 black, below the next 2 black, then the next black key, down to below the 3 black, and then the first black before. Yes, I know they're regular notes and sharp notes, it's just I haven't played a piano in a long time. And it helps me to visually remember instead, so we can play... it was... Boom, 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 boom. Alright, so now it's going to be a little bit of music time. Mm. And we gotta... No, that's not right. Whatever. That sounds too high. Now it sounds too low. That's still wrong. Maybe it was right the first time. Nah, it's still not right. Just notice it, come on. There we go. And with that, you can click on the computerized book and head over to the next stage. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. You can check out my description for Twitch and Twitter links where I stream every weekday and most weekends. Don't forget to subscribe if you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you in the next video, where we will explore the spaceship age.